Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about Superman and Lois. And the reason why I want to talk about Superman and Lois is because, of course, John Kent is bisexual, and now there are people trying to push the actor Jordan Cleese. I hope I said his last name right. As since now he's John Kent, he should also be bisexual, and they did an interview talking about it, and I don't think he is going to, because I don't think that was an agreement when they were cast, and I really hope they don't do it, because it just doesn't make any logical sense, to be honest. Just because you do something in comic books, now you want to try to bring it to the thing, when any other time they do things from when they ignore a lot of the comic book lore anyway to do their own things. Don't try to change it now that it's convenient for you guys to bring in another sexuality, which is kind of crazy because, no offense, the Arrowverse is overrepresentative of LGBT people regardless. I'm not trying to hear even if the character is bisexual. No, that is weird. First off, the mainstream right now is loving Superman and Lois. It is probably one of the CW's best shows they have on right now, and it's featuring Superman, for God's sakes, which, that's saying something. When you had Supergirl on there, you couldn't really do much with her because you decided to get identity politics, and then every character on there almost was part of the LGBT community. You got to figure out something. Right now, people love Superman. People don't like to see that nonsense. So no. Yeah, you have a few identity politics with Lana Lane and her family being Hispanic for no damn reason. But other than that, let's kind of leave it alone, even though, it really don't kind of make no goddamn sense that a Hispanic woman would be in Kansas like that, since Kansas is mostly Midwest. But whatever. I'm just saying, I don't want Superman and Lois to bend the knee to these weirdos, to be honest. Leave it alone. Like Jim Lee said, it's a multiverse, so John Kent is allowed to be bisexual in one of them and be straight in another one. And we already seen John Kent with the boy. We already seen him with a girlfriend in Arrowverse, and we already seen that he also been crushing on other girls in the show. So no, let's not try to be like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if he was? No, because first off, he's in Kansas, Midwestern Central America, to be honest. I'm sorry, it ain't that many LGBT, and I just do not want the character to go through that bull crap just because people from the Arrowverse think that it's cute. Wouldn't it be cute? No, it really wouldn't be, to be honest. Like, no, not at all. So let's not do that. Let's not do that with the character. Let's just be like, oh no, we're just gonna ignore what they're doing in the comic books anyway, because let's be honest, they ignored a lot of things anyway. They gave us a twin brother that Lois and Clark never had in the comic books, and they also didn't give John Kent his powers. So again, let's ignore, and on top of that, the actor doesn't even have black hair. So again, you know what I'm saying? Like, we already went far from John Kent in the comic books anyway, so don't try to be like, oh, now it's convenient for y'all. Now y'all want to be like, oh, well, in the comic books, now that he's bisexual, you should do that. No, because when other people say things like, oh, in the comic books, this didn't happen or whatever, everybody want to be, the people who don't even watch the comic books be like, who don't read the comic books be like, oh, it doesn't really matter, it's whatever, blase, blase. Okay, so it's the same thing. If you're not allowed to do anything from the comic books when I ask for it, don't ask to do it the same when it's the comic books. When it's in the comic books for y'all that y'all like something. You get what I'm saying? It ain't fair. It ain't right. So no, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hear that. Don't do it. CW, HBO Max, whoever, leave it alone. Just let Superman and Lois be what they are. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? Come on, like, this didn't make the sense God gave. Damn. Okay, whatever. But it just doesn't make logical sense with what's going on with everything with John Kent, that they decided like, hey, let's let's try to make him part of the LGBT now that he's officially in the comic books. No, it doesn't work like that. You can't have your cake and eat it too. It's in the comic books. You better damn read the comic books. Because if you need him to be bisexual in the TV show to feel seen and wanted and represented, something's wrong with you. So no, I'm sorry. Read the comic book. Read the comic book. It's time to separate certain things. It's time to separate certain things. Right now, the mainstream is loving Superman and Lois. And I know the CW seeking it. They didn't add any identity politics or any of that nonsense hardly into the show. So let's not. And you have to think about it. What would be the point? Because what you think I'm most to believe that there's some random LGBT people that just magically showed up at the same time that John is magically bisexual? No. I mean, he's literally in a state where it ain't that many of them. And I'm talking about less than 2% in that entire state. And you want him to what? Struggle? Oh, well, because he's what? So we can admit that he likes boys for what reason? So he can be lonely when he wants to date a boy? No, it's stupid. It's stupid. Maybe if they was in Metropolis, and even then I don't want them to do it. So no, leave this shit alone. Don't try to use comic books. Don't try to use comic book canon when it's convenient for y'all, and then when it's not convenient, y'all want to ignore it. So no, I'm sorry. Superman and Lois is doing a great job. Superman and Lois need to ignore all the bull crap that DC comic books is doing. Leave it alone. I'm telling you, CW, don't even touch whatever the comic books is doing, except for like Superman and Action Comics Rebirth. That's the only ones you need to touch, because those are telling great stories. And if you need to be inspired by Superman, those are the kind of stories that you need to tell using Peter David and Tomasi run of Action Comics and Superman Comics Rebirth. Those are your blueprints, and it's working. And of course, you take stories from pre-New 52. Don't take anything from New 52. Don't take anything from post DC Rebirth. Leave all of that shit alone. I'm telling you, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. I mean, because Superman and Lois is really goddamn good, and I'm like, finally, we're getting a show that actually loves Superman, that celebrates Superman or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, hey, I'm still rooting for my boy Henry Cavill, because I believe he was dealt a bad hand. Yeah. And he made best with what the hell he could do. Just like I believe Melissa Benoist, when she played Supergirl, the first 2 seasons was fine. And then the CW self-sabotaged her ass, and it's been nothing but a hot mess for that show, and she deserved better too. You work with what you got, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, hey, you got some actors who are actually good for these roles. It's just that they are just tied to bull crap, you know what I mean? So let's not add any identity politics. Let's not add any LGBT stuff into the show. Let's just have a good all-American show. That's what you need. Every show can't have LGBT in it and can't have diversity, inclusion all the time. It just can't. And it can't have identity politics. No. Leave Superman and Lois alone. Is doing great, because I'm telling you, as soon as y'all add that stuff in there, y'all gonna have people walk away. Because, I mean, it's the same thing with Arrow. Arrow was doing great until y'all did the same shit with them. So let's not do it. And then Flash, definitely, after season 2, it was just like, all right, season 3. And then it became so much of the identity politics and Iris and female empowerment and diversity, inclusion. And you just like, all right, we're done. We're out. No, ain't nobody got time for this. You just can't put it in everything. That's all I'm saying. So, Superman and Lois creators, producers, CW, WB, HBO Max, don't listen to the weirdos that wants this stuff shipping or canonized, because remember, your mainstream audience don't want that shit. your mainstream audience just want to see Superman raising his 2 boys in Kansas. And again, Kansas is as American as you can goddamn get. Truth, justice, and American way, to be honest. Like, hey, and they're just not for the nonsense. So trust me, CW, you got a hit on your hands. Do not bend the knee for people who don't care about, these characters, and who do not care about the show or the comic books, because at the end of the day, they're only saying that because they just want to see something that everybody else don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? And again, don't have no problem with it, but it's starting to permeate too much of everything. Like, at some point, you be like, all right, now, calm on down now. You guys are doing just a tad bit too much. But those are my opinions and thoughts about the whole Superman, Lois, John Kent thing for the CW. CW is known for leaning a little bit heavy into the identity politics. And I just hope that HBO Max and them, since they're also partnering up with CW to do Superman and Lois, they be like, nah, we ain't about that life. And that'll be great, to be honest. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think, comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.